Hey guys, welcome to Faz Radio again. We are back for our second show this week, and we have a very interesting guest today. His name is, I believe, Rostekip. Is that right? Of NFTGuilds.io.
That is
And,
correct. Good
and we're
evening.
going to learn about gaming tournaments, boys and girls, tournaments in the Web3 gaming world. And Titan and I are really, really new to this. We know zip about this, and so we're going to be asking a ton of questions about this. And Rostekip was telling us some stuff about it in the green room, some really interesting things that Titan was getting all impressed about. So I figured I better start up before Titan learned more because I want his reactions to get you guys excited as well. You there, Titan?
I am. I didn't know you wanted me to talk. I'm always ready to talk. You know that.
Well, you know me. You're coming from my left speaker for some strange reason. That's really weird. Are you like not in stereo today?
I hope I am. I got this new dedicated PC thing set up, so if it sounds janky, I need to know.
I think it's like you're on my left side. That's really weird. Anyway, um, so yes, we're just looking at his website called NFTGuilds.io, and go there now. And there's also another one called what NFTLookup.io. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So do you want to start with the first question, or should I, Mr. Titan?
Well, so I did notice when I went to the NFT guilds, it surprised me that you guys have everything there, including a way to do your buy-ins. This site seems like something like you can host your own tournaments if you want. Tell us a little about that.
Yeah, sure. Well, the NFT Guilds website is a website which has two main functionalities. The first one is that every guild can basically put their own guild on the site, let's say, and maintain their guild members, meaning they can maintain all the NFTs that are in the guild, that anybody would want to share with the guild. Um, and secondly, every guild on their own can organize tournaments. Now, those tournaments are um, based first on everything which is Gala related for the moment, and they will be able to organize tournaments for Townstar and Spider Tanks for the moment. Now, these tournaments can be held for a bit of free entrance, or they can put in buy-ins, whatever they want. But the benefit of it by organizing these tournaments on FT Guilds is that if there is an entrance fee, the guilds will earn as well on creating tournaments. So there is a certain setup where every guild on its own will have a fee or will have a revenue back from creating tournaments.
So okay, I'll still ask some introductory questions here because I'm rather new to Web3 tournaments and stuff like that. So when I play Spider Tanks right now, I see a leaderboard right there on Spider Tanks. Um, so does this like integrate with Spider Tanks at all, or is this just separate? I'm wondering how it actually like knows that people win games and stuff like that.
A very good question. So for the moment, it's separate. I hope to have, and that's the reason why everybody sees me on Discord asking for APIs. So what happens now, or how do you organize a tournament? Is very easy. So you set up your tournament on NFT Guilds, and then everybody can join the tournament. Now the organizer can choose if they want to have everybody randomized in teams, or you can have tournaments where teams are upfront, let's say, defined. And from that moment on, the system will randomly generate the setup for the tournament. And for the moment, you need to go into the tournament itself, create a room, do your tournament, and then fill in the results afterwards manually. but I really hope that soon I will be able to announce that an API will be ready and available, so that it completely will be automated within Spider Tanks. But I'm still waiting for the API.
Well, in the case of Spider Tanks, I know that they're planning to open up APIs for some of these games to third parties, so that would work well with what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the complete integration. Then it's one of those things I asked already from, let's say, the start. And of course, I understand there was so many things to have it live, and that everything was ready, and they're still working on it. But okay, I think it's one of those things that will come next, and I'm very looking forward to it.
So I do see here that you did a good job of putting everything right in flow as well with the site. Explain maybe what the voucher is. I think I know what that is, but
Yeah.
is that like the pot that everybody has to like buy a ticket, and if the person sets it up that says, "Hey, 500 Gala of entry fee," they purchase that ticket to go in, and then that's what creates the winnings? Is that how that works?
Yes and no. I created it due to the fact that I was searching for a way to have Gala and Town as an entry fee. Now, I didn't want to have everything created on my own, and I didn't want to have wallets on the site, or that you needed to connect your wallet on the site, because I was very scared that this would drive people away. So what I created was, or what I searched was, a way to have wallets on the site while you didn't need to connect your wallet to the site. And I went for OKX, for having them as a way to connect or to pay for your entrance fee. So there's three ways to pay for your entrance fee. One is by just having your wallet and then wire over the entrance fee towards the site, which is an OKX. Or if you have an OKX wallet, then you can buy an entrance fee which doesn't have any gas on it. That's the second option that you could do. And for those that didn't have an OKX wallet, for instance, the US customers, um, I introduced the voucher system, where you would be able to buy a voucher for a certain amount and use that voucher to buy entrance fees into the tournaments. That's basically the reason why I created the voucher system.
Okay, so OKX then is like the custodian. They hold all the uh the winnings, and then those are dispersed at the end of the tournament, I would imagine.
That is correct. So then, at the end of the tournament, when you have a winning, for instance, if you have like four Gala or four town or five town, you can already imagine that if you want to, let's say, pay it out to your external wallet, it would be too high as a gas fee. So what you can do then is you can pay out your winnings to your voucher, accumulate them, and then from the moment that you have enough, um, or that you have enough of playing, or that you have enough money to wire out to your external wallet, you can basically refund your voucher into your external wallet.
So the rewards for this, those are the part of the entrance fee, correct?
Yes and no. So the organizer can choose what kind of tournament they want to organize, and there are 4 or 5 different options. But to keep it simple, what you can do is, you can have a sponsored tournament where there is no entrance fee, but the organizer themselves will put in a certain amount of money or currency that will be distributed across the winners. Or you can have sponsored and entrance fees, or you can have only entrance fees. The organizer can choose, for instance, if there is a play to earn aspect to it. So you have even tournaments with play to earn aspects. So yeah, there's so many possibilities that a tournament organizer can choose, that it's endless possibilities,
It
basically.
sounds like you're actually ready for a lot of stuff that isn't ready yet. Like this whole sphere, this whole scene is starting up, and you're going to be one of the first, people hitting the ground running.
Yeah, that was the intention. And I still have a vision in my head of how I would have wanted to have this available, and the trigger was the Townstar, where they closed up the play to earn aspect. So it was initially, it was not in the system, but I wanted to give already the people the opportunity to do play to earn without having it officially on Gala, and that's the reason why I try to be able to have already those functions into the system and try to make it so that it's generic for every single tournament. That
So
was
let
basically the idea.
okay, that's an interesting question, or an interesting thing that you brought up there, where you say play to earn without not going through Gala. Are you saying that you could play Townstar and your website would allow you to be earning while you're
Yep,
playing this game?
yep, exactly. Yep, indeed.
So that's
It's uh,
like a non-Gala. Well, so it's removing Gala from the whole picture. Then you could
well,
still play
it's
to earn.
yeah, indeed. Well, it's not removing Gala, of course, from the picture. It's just to make sure that that time that is needed to actually have the play to earn aspect on the Gala platform itself and have the economy stable, just to make sure that people would be able to play Townstar in a way that they're used to with the play to earn aspect. Now, the extra benefit of the tournaments on the NFT Guilds website is that you can, the organizer again, because it's all on the organizer part, they can even choose to have non-NFT tournaments. So you can play Townstar where it's obliged that you remove your NFTs. So there's so many things you can do with a tournament, um, that you have all the possibilities at your disposal to make a fun tournament, even with the play to earn aspect. And how that works is that you have a certain amount of entrance fees, so you know what the pot will be that will be divided across the winners. And there you can say, out of this pot, an X amount of currency will be set aside to those that actually complete the task. Not be the winner, but everybody that complete the task will be having part of the play to earn pot.
So if we can just back up to like the beginning there, so to make it clear. So you're not the players don't have to be a part of Gala for play to earn, but I would imagine they would have to have an account at Gala in order to access and download the game, no? Or do they download the game another way and just play it on their PC?
No, it's a very good question. No, everything is the same as in Gala. So you need to have a Gala account, and you need to be able to play Townstar, because the user ID that you're having, your Townstar user ID, will be mapped against the ID when you enter the tournament. So when you subscribe to a tournament, you need to give in your Townstar ID. And what the script does, because it's a scripting for the moment, is that it will it will randomize, well, will do very randomized verifications of your town against the rules that are set up by the tournament organizer. Um, but
Oh,
all the rest
oh,
is
so
verified on my end, let's say, on the NFT Guilds website.
okay, so all right, now I'm starting to put this all together. So you have your account on NFT Guilds, and you, let's say you, as part of your profile, you put your Townstar ID in there. So when you enter a tournament, it will automatically validate your Townstar ID against the tournament, which keeps everything in line automatically.
That's correct. So, and the added value here is that you can play the tournaments on any server that you want, because what I'm doing in the scripting, so from the moment that you, well, let me back up and tell you how it's working. So from the moment that you're interested in in entering a tournament, you subscribe to it. You already have the script, or you installed the script, the Temper Monkey script on Townstar. You put in your Townstar ID so that the NFT Guilds knows that which script is going to tell you which town is entered. And from the moment that you're ready, you just press on click click to play somewhere in the game itself. You choose your server where you want to play it on, so you don't need to be on the actual tournament server, let's say. And from that moment on, the town will be verified against the rules every X amount of seconds, and it will give you a progress. how far you are, and if your timer has started, if you have reached your goal, it will verify that all automatically.
Now this isn't well. I know that Gala Games has problems if you run some scripts. Is Gala Games cool with this?
Yes, indeed. So they are. Well, unfortunately, it will not be the case anymore on Godot, as you can imagine,
On Godot.
because there everything will be server based.
So because they're rewriting, I just want to give a little background. Townstar is being rewritten to where things aren't all done in the front end anymore. It's kind of done with the web server itself.
That is correct. Yeah, indeed. So I need to switch my verifications from client side to server side. That's a bit the tricky part. And to do that, I need to have an API again, just to make sure that I can see what the server side is saying about the town.
Now
So yeah.
this can be done with more than just Townstar and Gala Game stuff. This can be done with like EVIO and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I can do it basically on every single game. The thing is that it's written in a generic way. So if you create your tournaments, there's let me see how much it is. I think there's 5 or 6 things that you can define as a parameters. There's only one page which is basically completely um, game based, meaning the rules. For instance, for Townstar, I have a rule set up where you can say this is when the timer starts, so you can only have these kind of NFTs of these kinds of crafts in your town before the timer starts. And your end goal or the end rule is you need to have, let's say, 10 butter in your craft, or you need to have 10,000 stars or whatever that the organizer can choose. That's really game specific, but 90% of the creation of the tournament is completely generic, completely game based, let's say, or not game based. It's basically telling you which game it is, what the timer is, how much time you have to enter in the tournament, if it's only for guilds, if it's for everybody, if it's for regions only. Those kind of things are completely independent of the game that you're hosting, let's say.
Okay. Titan, if you don't have anything else, I'd like to change the subject. Do you have anything you want to follow up here?
Well, I just had the one thing. So when you create an account on NFT Guilds, do you have to have a separate account for your guild to log in and a player account as well? Or does it assign you automatically to the right guild? Do you have to select that? How does that all play out? Because I see that you have a guild section here, which is really nicely laid out, talking about how many members it has, and you can automatically apply to those guilds. And how does that all work?
Yeah, sure. So of course the site is user based, right? So if you want to have access to the guilds that are already set up, you need to have an account created on NFT Guilds. So you just subscribe to the NFT Guilds, which again, and I'm really stressing this, will not connect your wallet to the site. It's just subscribing, let's say. But the guilds themselves, when you are a person, when you as a person want to create a guild, you can always, everybody can create a guild. Now, to be sure that nobody can create guilds and just doesn't have any members, I put in a fee on when you create a guild itself.
So nobody, because people tend to spam. People would
Exactly.
make spam accounts. So
Exactly. That was the only reason why I did that. I tried to make it as cheap as possible, let's say, but expensive enough so that everybody would say, "Oh no, it's too expensive to create a guild." You really need to be sure that you want to create tournaments, because again, if you create tournaments, you can have a revenue stream. So
I think
I
it's
need.
like $25 or something, right?
Yeah, it's 1,000 Gala that I took as a number. It's like a random number, but I thought, yeah, this is the right number. Okay, perhaps it's not, but okay, it's
Well, when
what it is what it is.
Gala's a dollar, then that might have to change. But yeah,
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's of course. But okay, it's really only for that I'm doing it, because yeah, you don't earn or you don't have or I don't have an earning from making guilds. Let's put it like this. But
Does
once you
those do those
sorry.
funds go into an account that gets paid right back out again? Is that how they work?
Honestly, I used every single money that came in from the guilds. I put them in as a sponsored tournament for the moment. So I didn't earn anything on it. I just made it so that I could test the site out and that I could create some play to earn tournaments and some sponsored tournaments. So everything
Okay.
almost is gone for that. So I'm not keeping it. I just want to make sure that everybody can have some return out of it. But once you create your tournament, well, everybody can create a tournament. Then everybody can apply to your tournament. But you're not automatically, let's say, accepted to your tournament. The guild owner or the one that is basically um, owning the guild or having a user right, because it's user right based as well, will be able to accept or deny members. So that's a bit how that works.
That sounds very, very interesting. What made you come up with this idea?
So as mentioned, I made first the NFTLookup site. That was in November 2021. I was very new to the scene then, but the only thing that I saw there was that you needed to go to rarity.tools to verify what the rarity was. You then needed to go to OpenSea. You need to compare, blah blah blah. So I was thinking to myself, this can be better. So I created NFTLookup, and then I had my own guild. Well, I joined a guild, and it was created to with Poop Carver and Rick, called Friends with Benefits. Shout out to those guys. Um, and I was thinking about the Miranda stuff, and we needed to be able to maintain all the NFTs and verify how good we were in the space. So I said, okay, this can be done as well, and that's the reason why I created it.
So putting the NFTs in there, so is that like an NFT sharing platform part, or how does that work exactly? I'm a little
Yeah,
confused on that.
yeah, you're right. So it's more an informational thing, as you don't need to, let's say, put in your wallet. The system is unaware of what you own as or what you want to share to the guild. So what it does basically is that um, once you want to update your guild with the NFTs, it will basically look into an API that is created by OpenSea, where it will show you what you have in your wallet. Let's say it will not connect to your wallet, but it's like open information on what is inside your wallet, and from that moment on, you can say, this is what I want to share to the guild. Now, once you do that, you will not be able on the site to share that with other guilds. So it's more like an informational thing, but you basically say to the guild, look, this is what I have in my wallet that you can know about myself when I'm joining the guild or when I update myself in the guild.
Okay, so people can't actually use the NFTs that you have, but it shows that you have the power and the ability to shape a very, very good tournament using those.
It's not for the tournaments itself. It's just to make sure that, for instance, if you want to maintain every single NFT or you want to know what kind of NFTs you've got in your guild, you are able to do so. It's not for the tournament itself. It's a separate section where you can say, okay, I have got my guilds. I got 50 members. I've got these NFTs at my disposal, and those are the guys that owning those NFTs. And then you can say, okay, I've got these NFTs. How much NFTs do the other guilds own? And you see a percentage, how far or how many percentage you've got of NFTs in that game, in verifying the other guilds. For instance, you can say I have 20% of all the milk barns or stands in Mirandas in my guild, for instance.
Very cool. Um, where do you see this expanding? So as more players and more guilds come in, what is the next step for NFT guilds?
Well, the next step is to be able to, well, my first focus is, of course, to extend it a bit. So you know that now Townstar and Spider Tanks is in there. Now, there's one neat, nice feature which is in Townstar now, for instance, is the PvP that I just introduced, meaning you can play against each other instead of playing on your own game. You can now as well throw bricks to somebody's build by telling them that they need to destroy certain things or otherwise they will get disqualified. So that is all possible right now. But what I want to do is, of course, first do the APIs and introduce the APIs, and later on there will be new features into it. But it's all driven by the guilds themselves. So I can create tournaments, but in the end, what would be very, very cool is that I see every day, every day of the week, new tournaments popping up from the guilds, and perhaps from Gala. Who knows? That's something that is perhaps in the future possible.
So as we kind of transition into this new Godot system, the
Godot.
changes the
Godot, come on.
you know what? I'm not a gamer, so I
Well,
don't.
let's explain what Godot is. Godot is just a name for the newer version of Townstar. Well, a name for the technology they're using.
So if for example, by making this switch to the server side, Gala's intention was to be able to limit or prevent exploits on the system, to take more control of that system. And you mentioned the browser extension that allows you to tweak things a little bit. With that coming out, how's that going to impact how NFT Guilds creates these new tournaments?
Wow, that's a very good question. It depends heavily. It's a complete other picture that we will see. So that's the reason why I took contact with the guys from Gala to make sure that the NFT guilds would not be, let's say, left out, because I will not be able to organize any tournaments anymore if I don't have the API. That's for sure. I can still do it right on the client side, but it's not the intention. But yeah, it's already shared by Volcron that they are working on an API which would be made available to create these kind of tournaments. So I'm very happy with that. So I have a lot of support within Gala to make this transition between client side versus server side. But there's no, well, I don't have any vision yet on when that would be, because I know that they're working now hard on Godot, and of course they need to focus their intention, or their completely on creating the game there. So this will come in a later phase. So I'm pretty sure that some weeks, hopefully not months, I will not be able to organize any tournaments until the API is ready.
So you hit a hot button with mentioning APIs. There are a lot of different organizations, obviously you included, that I hate to use the word relies on APIs, but it is a very, very big part of what you do. And it's been like pulling teeth out with Gala to get APIs for people to get things done. With the challenges of moving to the Jiri network, as well as this new game engine, what seems, from your perspective, what seems to be the holdup with getting these APIs out to people like you who can use those to make an ecosystem that works very, very well with Gala?
Oh, that's one of those questions I ask myself as well, because for me, well, as a develop, well, not a developer, but as somebody that does this every day, I know that when you create an API early on in the phase, you have so many possibilities. Like if you have a game and you have an API ready up front, you can stress test the system. For instance, you can use my site to basically say, okay, we have a new version, we're going to organize a tournament. We will give you an incentive of giving money away. Just test the system. And you know that everything will work or not work, but at least you got some help from outside and not only the internal tests. That's a bit my vision. But I think the reason why it's not there yet is because of the focus that they're putting on other things. Like for instance, in Spider Tanks, I have a lot of discussions with the guys from Game Media and with Gala, and you see clearly that there is a focus, and it's a valid one, right? So they just entered in from beta into the real world, and they need to focus on something. And my point of view, an API then is less important than making sure that the economy is right, which I understand. But of course, it's not good for me. That's for sure. But but okay.
Right? Yeah, that kind of slows you down a little bit.
Well, not
Um,
exactly because I created already an alternative, but the alternative, and this is one of the things that I want to mention. So the Spider Things tournament of May Mayhem was held on NFT Guilds, and there you could clearly see what that an API is necessary for these kind of tournaments. Because if you're relying on somebody to give in the results and the opposing team needs to validate them, you always get frustrations because there's somebody that doesn't fill it in, or you have somebody that filled it in incorrectly, or there's somebody that already left. So there's always those kind of things in large tournaments that hinders the progress of organizing these large tournaments, and therefore you need to have an API.
I think I'm out of questions at the moment for the NFT guilds. Is there anything you have, Faz, before we kind of let Rustikip give us the final summary on that?
Yeah. Did we go very far into the NFT lookup stuff?
Well, that's where I was going to go next. I didn't
Okay.
want to leave like NFT guilds if you had more questions.
No, I'm. You had actually asked my question. I had one to
I
know
know.
where it was
I'm
funny.
sorry.
I
You've done
swear.
that to me
Oh,
once
man,
or twice. I was
know.
like, it's like,
Thanks a
crap.
lot, Titan. Anyway, yeah, I was just wanting to know where things are planning to be going next. I do have a question about have are you working with Timbo Slice's Mafia at all?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And the first thing that I did, of course, before I created the NFT guilds was verifying with the guilds if they were interested in such a site. I came in contact with the guys from Mafia and with all the other, let's say, major guilds, and they were all pleased with it. And yeah, with Timbo, we created the famous May Mayhem tournaments on Spider Tank. So yeah, I very well know Timbo. So.
Is does this work well with his leaderboard, or do you have your own
Yes.
leaderboard?
No. So I'm going to do a leaderboard, and I already talked with Timbo about this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my APIs. I have no problem in doing so, so that he can organize tournaments on my end and take the results and put it in his leaderboard. So it's like in my point of view, if you want to make this a success, you need to make sure that it can be used by everybody and in a way that everybody wants to do it. So yeah, I'm already preparing the APIs for him. So yeah.
Yeah, sounds like you're a first mover, and actually the first movers are the ones that have all the advantages. If Web3 gaming starts really blowing up, then you'll be in a good spot. To first movers generally get to set the standards in this space, and if you're setting the standards, that's a good place to be.
Yeah, I totally agree with that statement. Yeah.
Well, good. So I was interested in knowing a bit more about NFTLookup. Could you explain that a little bit more? I know you kind of went over it a little bit
Sure.
with OpenSea a little bit. Could you
Yeah,
explain what that is?
yeah, sure. So NFT lookup. So that's the site that I made in 2021.
And that's NFTLookup.io, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
NFTlookup.io. So what it does basically is it gives you live information on OpenSea and on the Gala website about all the items that are sold and are being available for Gala. There's two sections in NFT, well, three sections in NFT lookup. The first one are the dashboards, where you will have all the dashboards available to you that are created by myself, or you can create your own dashboards when you want to follow your own stuff, or you want to follow something about Vox, or want to follow something by Grid or Spider Tanks, or whatever you want to follow, you
When you
can
say
do.
follow, do
Yeah.
you mean when somebody buys or sells an NFT, you can see if that happens?
Yeah, immediately, indeed. So
And
what
if
I
they
have,
list one as well, that kind of stuff?
yes, indeed. So what it does, it's giving you all the possibilities to verify what are the things that are on OpenSea or on the Gala website. It will give you where it's the cheapest. So it could be, for instance, that all of a sudden there's something like a discount on the Gala website, and it will give you both of them in one single place.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Uh,
so if Gala marks down the price on something, you'll get told about it, or you
yes.
can have it notify you.
Yes, indeed. That's the third part. Is the alert system. So indeed, you can tell the system if a price is below a certain threshold that you want to see, then you will be able to be warned about that through a text message or through an email. So that's possible as well. Yeah.
How does that work? Is there an API, or do you just go and scrape the site
No,
and
indeed. So there's an API. So on OpenSea, you have those famous APIs where you need to have a key for it and those kind of things. So I was lucky enough to have a key. Yeah, you need to introduce your site and you need to explain what you're doing, and based on that, they define if it's smart enough to have a key. So I have a key, luckily. And what it does is, from the moment that it's having an event on the different collections, so I have, I think, about 12 or 13 collections right now, it will trigger an event, and that event will then be picked up by my site, and it will update the site, let's say, live, and it will give you all the latest information. Now, this said, there's always some possibilities where where it's not picked up due to some changes on the API level, which I had already tremendous amount of times on OpenSea. So hopefully that will be slowing down a bit. But in 99% of the cases, you will see the latest price on the website.
you know, I'm wondering if so you can do this with any other kind of NFT as well. Can you do it with sites other than OpenSea?
Yeah,
Like say like Tezos has art on their website and stuff like that, or not Tezos
yeah,
website. There's
yeah.
Tezos sites.
Yeah, I just need to connect the API to it, and then it will be stored in my database, let's say, and it will then be, yeah, generic to everything. But for the moment, yeah, I'm just focusing myself first on the Gala stuff, and then that one is on OpenSea, and hopefully when there will be a marketplace on Jiri, that I will be able to do that. But that's something that is not there yet. So
Well, Jury sounds like it's in a bit of flux on how they want to make that stuff happen. So it sounds like you have to wait until they get
yeah,
things moving.
again waiting. Indeed, indeed. And that's the most annoying part, to be honest. That's being dependent on others to make sure that you can give a service which I want to give. But okay, it is what it is.
Great. Is that all you got, Mr. Titan?
Oh no, I was trying to be extra nice and not pop in there since I stole your question earlier. While you guys were talking, I was perusing NFT lookup, and I had no idea this existed. Um, it it's amazing. You can click on details and get all the information about offers, bids, history. This is truly amazing that you've put this together. Why is it that I've never heard of this before?
Yeah, that beats me because I think 90% of the people on Discord knows about knows about this site. So yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, I don't know. I try to make sure that everybody knows about this because again, yeah, it's just an informative site. It doesn't again tries to get your data or whatever it is. It's just it was just built because I was having a problem. Like for instance, if you take the Vox version 1, which is in the in the dashboard, when we used to be able to have a return on it, you know that you cannot talk about it on the Discord, but here you can. There is a way to verify what your rarity will be and how much it would be for the rarity per Ethereum or the rarity per what your return on investment would be if you would buy these kind of NFTs. So that gives you an extra benefit as well to see, okay, is it cheapest one? What will be my return on investment and those kind of things. So yeah, that was made
Is
for that one.
is there also a notification set up for this? I mean, if the numbers go up or down,
Yeah.
rarity or the return, etc.
Yeah, indeed. So if you go into the alert system, there are already templates set up for you to make sure that you don't need to create it on your own completely.
We should actually demonstrate this. I'm not, unfortunately. Well, I'm going to see if I can do it here. So continue talking. I'm
Yeah,
gonna start
sure,
fiddling with
sure.
things here.
Yeah, go for it. So the alert system will give you some templates where you will be able to pick up some stuff. I must admit that with the NFT Guilds website, of course, I didn't create any new templates, so it's on my list to do to create other templates. But you can create your own template, let's say, for alerts. But what it does there is basically verify if it verifies your rules against what is available on the site, and if it's triggering that rule, then you will receive a text message or an email. That's how it's working. But you can say whatever you want to, or you can define whatever you want to do. It's that easy.
This is truly amazing. I looked up my own assets on here, and it doesn't look good for my ROI. I can tell you that. Um, so when these games come out, right? So we have 4 playable games. Superior is in play test. We have some of these other play tests that are coming out. Do you update for tests or just when things actually go live, right? So in other words, like the Superior play test and the Fortitude play test are going on right now. Do you take the time to put effort into doing tournaments during a play test, or do you wait for actual release on that?
Well, now we're talking again about NFT guilds. No. I'm waiting until I've got something which is stable. And the reason why is that I need to first verify how the game works because you need to set up the rules for that specific game. For instance, for Spider Tanks, what I built in there was in the rules you can define what kind of tanks are permitted to play in the tournament. Now, in order to do that, you need to see how the game works, and it can change all the time until it's in a stable system. So Superior, in my point of view, is one of those things I would really like to do. Grid, for instance, as well. Um, but I'm still waiting until I know this is the point where I know it's stable, and then I can put it into the system. But with an API, again, with an API, I could do that quite easily. If I would have a communication set up from the beginning with the development team and say, okay, guys, make first your API so that and I will be able to give you tournaments even within your playtest, that of course would be benefit everybody in my point of view.
All right, I think I got something going here. I'm sharing the NFT lookup site, And I only have one screen, so hold on. Let me trying to be able to see this and that side at the same time. Oh, did it just make it smaller? That's weird. Can you see this, Mr. Titan?
Yes, everything's looking good.
Okay, good. So how would I see how this works? So I went to NFTLookup.io here, and this is what we have. And this looks like we have a drop down for Vox Collection, Walking Dead, Town Star items, and Superior. Well, I'm interested in Superior items.
All right, so maybe walk through what that looks like and see if Rostekip can guide you through setting up like an alert for something you might want to buy.
Well, I probably need to log on, create an account.
Yeah,
first,
you need to
right?
subscribe for that, unfortunately, to create the alerts. But I can give you here the way you would be able to create your own dashboard, for instance. That would be quite nice as well.
So we
yeah, you
go to
just
dashboard.
yeah, and then you have on the right hand side you see create a dashboard. Yeah, that's the one. And what you see here is that you can make different kind of things like items and history and availability and Uniswap kind of reports. So you select your game or games that you want to
Say
see.
Town Star and Superior. Maybe I
Yeah,
want to know about those things. Then what?
exactly. And then on the right hand side, if needed, you can define what are the different well, items in Townstar and Superior that you want to follow. If not, it's every single item.
Okay, so if I type Tesla here, I see 3 different Tesla coils.
Yeah.
Let's say rare Tesla coil, and then Superior, something that's an epic. Whoa. Oh, that's looking for.
Yeah, it's looking for all the different systems.
Oh, I see error. Well, actually, I
and
see.
the reason why they're in there is because they were initially part of the Townstar collection.
Aha.
Yeah.
And that has everything to do with how Gala Games does things on.
Yeah, well, now it's
OpenSea.
separated. It's just changed, but of course the collection on the Townstar still remains. So you still have it in OpenSea as well. All the things that are moved
Oh my
to
God,
the
got a lot of
own
stuff.
collection.
So we got here. So now I picked. I want to see Ronin Prime, rare Tesla coils. That's Townstar and Superior. I see select fields, item name, collection. So this is going to be
what you want to see in your list. That's what you want to see there. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, lowest bid price. Okay. Let's just say those. I just threw some down here.
Yeah.
And wow, there's a lot of fields here.
So
this
there
is
you can
a data nerd's wet dream here.
Yeah, here you can choose the summary that you want to see. So there you can see it as well. But if you
this is like this is a literal query
Summers,
tool.
yeah.
You've turned it into a database.
Yeah, exactly. So you can do really whatever you want to do with it. You can
I don't want to
basically
do any
define.
counting and stuff yet.
So then just skip that one, and then on the right hand side you define what you want to see. So if you drop them all to the right hand side, those fields.
Oh, I see. Like that?
Yeah. Just pick them all. You can pick them all, and then.
Oh, I could have selected all. Okay.
Yeah.
What do we
And
got
then you
here?
see already underneath your list, you already see what you're doing.
Oh, this is what it looks like. Okay.
Yeah.
This
So you can put in a
this is a
button.
query tool.
Yeah, and then you can on the top you see those 2 little checkboxes. You can say show a button, and then you can go into the details and already there. So yeah, a graph you don't need to have a graph, let's say, but okay, you can put in graphs. But on the right hand side now you see in the details a button, and you can already click on it and see what it is. Well, there you go.
Wow.
That's how it would look like. Yeah.
Wow, look at that. This is a really powerful tool. I wish I had this about a year or 2 ago, which I'm sure it was. I just didn't know about it. I wish I saw this about a year or 2 ago, because this is the way that you've done this. You basically turned OpenSea into a database.
Yes, and as you can see here in the details, I have as well the Gala store in there. So I put both of them. So you have a comparison in how it was costing at that time and how it will cost now. So yeah, you will
so
see
it just takes you
everything.
straight to the store here.
Yeah, to
Um,
the Gala store, but not
well,
the
just
not the
not the
not the
page.
not the page itself. No.
Okay. I'm not, it opened a new tab. Did you see that new tab open up?
No. It
Okay,
doesn't.
good.
It doesn't show up.
It just popped into my account. That was weird. Okay. Wow. And so you see the prices and stuff too. And then you said it could actually notify you. I guess that's when I'm logged in. We'll get more
Yeah.
buttons.
So
or
if you
something.
go to the alert system, just close this one. Now you cannot save it because you're not logged on, but because already you can give it a name. But if you go on top, just one last little aspect. If you go on the right hand on top, completely on top, then you see create from the second
Mhm.
part. And here you will see all the things that I already have built, so you can base yours on the ones that I already have built, or that you see in the dashboard. You can base your items or your reports. You can base them on already what I have
Oh,
already
nice.
constructed. Yeah.
I found a spelling error.
Yeah,
I got
most likely it's not a native. I'm not a native
right there.
English speaker.
One
Sorry.
C and a cross.
Yeah, sorry.
I got you. This is now preserved for all posterity. Anybody who watches this podcast, but not the people on Apple Connect and Spotify. They won't see it, but they'll know that it's there. Anyway, great. Oh wow. So this is pre-made stuff. So the stuff that I did, you had to be somewhat technical to know I need these fields and so on. But if you click these pre-made things, what do you call this again? Templates.
Templates, yeah.
Yeah, if you create these, you could just pick something from this template. Total USD ask price per collection. That sounds interesting.
So then it
What
feels
it
already
just
up
reloaded
everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay, collection lowest bid price, and it's down here. Show graph, if it even does that. So will this actually? So this is how it would be on its own screen if I was logged in, then, right?
Yeah, well, so what you're going to have then is from the moment that you log on, it will verify what you have created, and then in the dashboard, the drop down that you see, it will not show you all the different default ones. It will only show those that you have created.
Now
That's
this
the
says lowest buy now price. These are really high amounts. Are these dollars?
I'm not sure. Well, let me see.
It seems
It's
like
in
a
price
sum.
US dollar. Yeah, it's a sum. It's a sum. This is a sum of all the things that are sold
Okay.
within the last 30 days, I think.
I'd want
On
to call this market cap or something.
yeah, you can. Yeah, you
Okay,
can
so
go
that's
change the name.
everything sold. Can we
Yeah.
rename these fields yet?
You cannot for the moment, but it's on my list to do.
Okay. Yeah, this is basically a report writer. This is extremely powerful. And this can be right now. I see that you have like Townstar and stuff like that. Can you do these for other things like EVIO right now?
Well, if I add them into the list, then you can.
And
But
all you're doing when you add them is you're just pointing them to projects, right?
yes, indeed. So it's very easy for me. It's just opening up the collection retrieval, which is completely automatic. For instance, if Gala creates a new collection, it's like adding it to the parameters that is the new collection, and it will
Well,
gather everything.
You know what you could do? You could actually have this point to any collection on
Correct.
OpenSea, and
Correct.
then it could
Yeah.
be 10 times more powerful.
And
Because then you could.
yeah, but the problem there is that you need to make sure that OpenSea, because this is the major issue, is that it's when you attack OpenSea with the calls, it will give you a throttling, to
It'll
say it
throttle
in
you.
the
So too much traffic going toward that site. So if I were to, do you actually throttle the users? So if I were to hit this query 19 times in a row, I mean, OpenSea would probably tell you.
No, it's not from OpenSea. It's taken from the database on my end, so you can do whatever you want. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why you're limiting the projects here.
No, not at all, because I found a way to avoid the throttling, which gives me basically the opportunity to get any collection in there. But for the moment, I just focused myself on Gala. But in
Wow.
theory, it's just 5 seconds work, and I could add the other collection to it. That's no problem.
Wow.
Don't tell Faz that, and don't answer his DMs. You're going to want to block him now.
Well, I was wanting them to add zip bugs to this.
He will blow up your DMs because this is like exactly in his wheelhouse of what he loves.
Yeah.
And you've done such an amazing job with this. I don't even know like the back end parts of it, but just these front ends that we're looking at, I am absolutely blown away. That is fantastic what you've created.
Well, thank you very much. That's so kind.
Well, I think I'm done with my questions there. What do you got, Mr. Titan? We're gonna let this poor guy go to sleep soon. Because,
Yeah.
by the way, Rostekip here. What country are you in?
I'm in Belgium.
Belgium. So
Yeah.
it's probably tomorrow in Belgium.
It's 3:30 a.m. in the morning, so I'm quite
Wow.
awake. I was working on my little secret project that Faz already knows about, but
yeah.
nobody else. So yeah, I was still working, to be honest.
So maybe
Oh,
maybe
this
when
is-
that secret project happens, we could talk about that on Faz Radio.
You can. I will. Well, some of the people already know about this. Certainly in my guild, they know about this one. I think it will be a very cool one. That's for sure. Like a
I've been
cliffhanger. That's a nice cliffhanger, I think.
well, I've been watching this whole space form. Right now, I think we have a unique opportunity, and I hope that a unique opportunity to see the Web3 gaming tournament, just everything space grow from the ground up. And of course, when you're seeing something grow from the ground up, it's important to mention that when things are just starting out, you never know that they're going to get bigger. I mean, this could all like be a fad and go away, next year or the year after. But if things go the way we hope, this is fucking big. I mean, this whole area, Web3 gaming, is just huge, and I can't even think of the permutations of things that are going to go on in this tournament space, in the play to earn space, because I'm thinking a lot of people will getting back to how I talked about play to earn last year. A lot of people are going to be very interested in buying NFTs to make money. But of course, the U.S. federal government is wanting to get involved with a lot of crypto NFTs, and they want to make sure that they categorize it right and that they make sure that there's no scams and stuff like that. So I certainly expect the space to change and evolve, but I still do think that it's going to be around, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And this kind of thing that you have right now is, we're going to look at this website 10 years or five years from now and be like, oh my God, look how basic this was. It's so
Thank you.
boy, this website couldn't get everything that's out there now.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
that's what I find exciting. I remember this from the early days of the World Wide Web, seeing all these things start out, and then every year these tools that we used would get bigger and bigger. I mean, it was search engines at first. The search engines were really crappy to begin with. And Google is the latest incarnation of search engines. There were many before that. I
totally agree. I totally agree.
I think I've taken this in a totally wacky direction, Mr. Titan. If you had any questions.
No. The only thing I did want to say is there a way that besides going to like NFTLookup or NFTGuilds, is there somewhere like a Twitter that we can put in for you where you can keep up with people and people can follow your progress, what's coming, what's here, the new features, what tweaks you've made, so that they can keep in the loop on this? Because I know I would be a subscriber to that.
Yeah, well, good point. I didn't do it yet. I'm a programmer at heart, let's say, or I have some stupid brain that always tells me these kind of little things to do. So I didn't have the time yet to create a Twitter, or I do have a blog though on Medium that I have for the NFT Guilds. So if you go to the NFT Guilds website and click on blog, you will see all the things that are happening on NFT Guilds.
Give them time. That Twitter account will happen soon enough.
Yeah, most likely. But
you might want to make the Twitter account though, even if you're not going to use it, because somebody might steal the tag.
Yeah, don't give anybody a reason to do so.
Well, once they've seen this is going out to the world. Our 400 users, man, our 400 subscribers, they're going to see this.
I know. Well, okay.
No, really,
it's-
yeah. We will definitely post your blog there on Medium. Keep people apprised of what's going on, please. This is really good stuff. I'm not, deep into the data like Faz is, but this is something I absolutely want to keep up with, and I know there's a ton of other people that would like to do the same.
All right, so got rid of that there. So there, are there any last words that we want to talk about to summarize NFT Guilds IO? Are there any Black Friday sales or any Christmas sales that you guys are planning to do?
as, I have so
Any
many Black
tournaments? And
I-
any tournaments coming up that we should be aware of?
Yeah, well, there's one happening right now, but I always try to make it so in the Town Star scene, I always try to make it so that my tournaments are not at the same time as the Gala tournaments, because I don't want to pull everybody into my tournaments or of the tournaments of Gala. So every week there's somebody that organizes a Town Star tournaments. Even the Mafia, for instance, Kamrar made some nice ones. And Lincoln Warlord as well made some nice ones. So
Lycan, yeah, Lycan Warlord.
Lycan. Sorry, but the thing is, it's every day Black Friday on my end. So
It's Black Friday every day.
yeah, so yeah, I just want to mention one thing, which is as well interesting on the NFT guilds. I didn't mention the burn mechanism. Which I think is as well important to know, that there is burn mechanisms as well.
Okay, do you guys have burn mechanisms for what?
Well, basically, part of the entrance fee will go to a burn wallet. So if you want to,
Ouch.
help the economy, you can burn.
So it'll burn
money.
Gala. The entrance
It
fee
will
is in
burn
Gala, right?
Gala or Town, one of the two, for the moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and so it burns it for what? What's the reason for burning it?
To help the economy out is basically that. Simple as that. If a guild well, most likely a guild will never do that. That's for sure. Because every single entrance fee, a percentage of it goes to the guild organizing it. So you can already imagine that will not be happening a lot. But these are more the tournaments that I organize, where I say, okay, the inflation is so heavy, I put that in as a burn mechanism.
Interesting.
So yeah, because obviously Gala doesn't want to get into the burn business. That is interesting. So you sound like somebody who is ridiculously passionate about making the
Insanely
the players,
passionate here.
yeah, the players the central part of this, and to have the players benefit the most from this system. That is very refreshing to hear.
You hit the nail. That is indeed my intention, and it's with every project that I'm doing in real life. Let's say, it's you guys that are using the tool. It's not me. So I'm trying to build something that you want to use, and not which is forced upon you. That's a bit my intake on that. So I'm very glad that you tell me that. That's very cool.
Awesome sauce. Well, I think I'm going to wrap things up then. Thank you very much, Rostekip, for coming on our show and on such short notice. I know we talked about it last week, and then yesterday I was like, "You ready?" And you're like, "Oh yeah,
No
yeah."
worries.
So you
Yeah,
have to
no
stay
worries.
up all night.
No
So
worries.
I do appreciate you jumping in on such quick notice, and we hope to talk to you again.
Certainly. Always in for a good chat.
Great. Okay.
Thank you very much for coming on tonight.
All right. Have a nice day, guys. Bye-bye. Have a nice week.
Bye.
Oh, wait, Titan. We have our pre-recorded outro to do. Can you say your thing so that people will know?
Oh, absolutely. Hey, like, subscribe, and throw some comments below. That helps us, which in turn helps us provide you with much, much better content every week. Thanks for being a listener. Thanks for supporting the channel.
And thanks for sitting through our pre-recorded outro.